Oh, please, please, no. No, no. I told you. Every time. Every time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So before I start the video, we hit that 100 subscriber mark. So thank y'all so much for the support and feedback, right? I feel like each video I've been trying to improve on my editing and presenting the important information in a timely manner. So I welcome all feedback that can help me grow as a content creator because you have to start somewhere in that journey. But again, thank y'all so much for the support. Welcome back, YouTube, to another 1 hour grind series. So, today's topic, we're going to be looking at grinding Birgahi Den, and we'll be diving into the location, rotation, and any mechanics, which this spot does not have any specific mechanics, unlike my previous video at Gyfin Underground, which was really fun to experience, which you can check that video out. I'll link somewhere here on the video. And then finally, just looking at the loot. Also, just a quick disclaimer, just like my other 1 hour videos, so I don't get too roasted with my trash numbers. But just to point out, this video is geared towards a person who may be checking out the spot for the first time. So your money per hour may be a little less, which reflects into my numbers. But I will also talk about the potential average money per hour once you get efficient with this spot. But with that being said, let's jump right on in. All right, so for this spot, it's going to be in the Elvia realm, okay? And the location is going to be right here. And then in order to get into the Elvia realm, you're going to want to go to Adventure tab, and then you're going to click this button, and then you'll hit Enter, and it's going to take you right into the realm. And for this spot, the recommended AP is going to be around 240-ish, with the max AP being at 753. And that's going to be the combination of your AP and then the monster AP. And the DP should be around 310. This spot has really no important mechanics. There is one event that will happen periodically while you're grinding that you'll notice on your screen, which will say you're in stage 1, stage 2, and then eventually you'll reach stage 5, which is then when the Birgahi Den boss will appear. And after you kill him, you'll just get more loot, and the stages will reset. Now, if you're not in the Marni zone, which I do not recommend, and if there's another player around that area and that player is doing more damage than you, then that player will be marked and the boss will spawn for that player instead. But again, you really should only be doing this spot in the Marni zone because the mobs just spawn much faster. So again, nothing crazy at this spot. Also, before you start grinding, make sure you pick up the Marni stones, right? So these right here. That's just going to give you either more shards or the Narc's Lightning, which will give you more money per hour. I would suggest just keeping the shards for a long-term investment. But to get these stones here, you're going to want to go to this area here called Glish, and the NPC is going to be Wakitashi. He's going to be right in this area here. All right, so I'm going to show you the rotation real quick in the Marni zone here. So your rotation can kind of vary based on your class if you have big AoE, but I'll kind of show you the loop that you'll do starting now. So the buffs you may want to run to be a little bit more efficient at clearing can include a simple cron mill if you're under the monster AP cap, or the exquisite mill if you're over the monster AP cap. Then you can use frenzy drought, the tent villa buff, the church buffs, the AP monster artifacts with really any PvE lightstone combination that you want to use. But with this spot, human damage is going to be the most important with your lightstones and your crystals. So again, if you really want to be the most efficient, you should be using human crystals or lightstones. That's going to give you more human damage. But for me, I'm using this setup here just because I'm lazy and I really don't feel like spending 40 million to change my lightstones. Also, when you're grinding, make sure to grab the Elvia spirit buff that will give you some pretty crazy damage to the mobs for about 10 minutes with a 20-minute cooldown. So realistically, you can get about 3 of these buffs an hour, and they do drop pretty frequently. And if you're in that cooldown period, if you have extra buffs, then you can still interact with it and get you another buff that will give you 3 more AP to the monsters for 5 minutes. But with that being said, I'll see you in an hour. All right, welcome back. So let's see what we got in 1 hour with just using a level 2 loot scroll with my drop rate being around 238% without Agris first and then with Agris. Now you can use a tent buff at this area for a 50% drop rate increase, but with the few hours that I was here, I did not use that. So let's go ahead and go over the drops here real quick. So with this area here, you're going to be getting the necklace here. And again, these marketplace prices are going to change depending on what the market's looking like. But you'll get the necklace. You're going to get these treasure keys, which I'll show you a little bit later on how you can use these. You're going to get the armor stones, the weapon stones. That's going to help with enhancing. You're going to get the sealed black magic crystal, which you can use these to get crystals or process them down into different materials that you can use for other stuff. Mass Pure Magic, that's going to help with enhancing. See the Void, that's just going to be a dropper you can sell for 10 million. Narc's Lightning, again, sell for 3 million. This is going to be your trash loot, so around 16,000. And then the Trace of the Battle, which can be used for other stuff for crafting. All right, so let me show you how you can use those treasure keys real quick. All right, so the easiest way to get to this spot here is you're going to want to just hit the NPC location, and it's going to take you to this well here. And so then I recommend also just going out of the Elvia realm to do this. So you'll just come here, you'll go down into the little tunnel here, which actually it's kind of neat. I've never been down this. It's like a little secret area, right? Watch out for the trap. But you'll come down here, and then you're gonna turn in the keys right here, right? So the small gold bar box, you're going to hit exchange and then you'll exchange the key that you have, okay? So I'll go ahead and exchange one, see what we get, okay? So looks like we only got a couple things there, nothing crazy. We'll go ahead and exchange another one, see if we get anything else, okay? Same thing, nothing, nothing crazy there. All right, so that's on we actually got it. We got a shard, a void, silver. So a few more things. So it's not bad. It's just going to give you a little bit of extra money per hour doing this, but kind of a neat little area, neat little added benefit doing this grind spot. So first, before I go over my few hours here, according to Garmoth, the potential average money per hour is around 585 million, with the average trash being around 17.4K, right? So that's a number you could potentially expect once you get efficient at the spot and if your class has big AoE. It's also important to note with your money per hour, it's going to be based on your drop rate, right? Which you can look at that right here. Okay, so if you add your loot scroll, that's going to increase your drop rate percentage, which is going to increase your chance of getting more shards. Also, to point out, a good portion of your silver is going to be from the shards. So once you make a cup and then sell it on the market, that's when you're going to get your return on investment, right? And that's really important to understand here at these spots with the shards. So essentially, you're grinding for the shards, and then you're going to eventually turn them into cups and then sell that on the market. Now let's take a look at my few hours here. And again, this is my first time being at the spot. And honestly, I think Striker is probably not the best class due to the AoE not being the greatest. But my first hour that I recorded while live streaming, I got around 602 million, and for the trash loot, I got around 14.6k. And then another hour, I got around 696 million, and for the trash loot, I got around 15.4k. And then finally, the last hour, I used Agris and I got around 706 million. And for the trash loot, I got around 17.2k. So I got a few thousand more trash that hour with using 20,000 Agris. So probably not the best to use Agris here. But overall, this is a pretty chill spot. And in terms of going for your cups, this spot seems to be the best for the shard of the Drain Knight, while Fogan's seems to be the best spot for the shard of the Tearful Knight, which I did a video on a few weeks ago. But let me know down in the comments what your average trash per hour is at this spot and what class you play. But with that being said, thanks for watching. If you like the content, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.